Hello, thank you for joining me today. Well, this is the Monday, February 22nd edition of our video devotionals. Thank you again for joining us today, and we appreciate you very much. And of course, it being Monday, then we might need a little extra pickup to get the week started off, but hopefully you had a good Saturday and Sunday. Hopefully everybody that's trying to recover from the severe winter weather that people have dealt with, like especially we think about the state of Texas, hopefully they can be getting back to normal. And I know it's going to take some time, especially with all the water damage from the frozen pipes that burst, and then of course are thawing out and all of that. So it can be overwhelming. We had that happen to us one time. Real quick, short story here. We were in Bible college. It had been very severe weather conditions in the Chicago area. I think it was I'm talking somewhere between 15 and 25 below zero, something like that. Not wind chill. We're talking about temperature. And we were renting this old farmhouse. It was actually renting one third. It was an old farmhouse that had been made into three different apartments, and we were on the bottom floor. Someone was on another side, and then there was some people above us. Well, what ended up happening, some people above us had basically tried to keep themselves warm with these little space heaters, but the actual units had this I guess water heat. In other words, the baseboards that run along the walls, and it was basically heat from a boiler system. Anyway, we were at our little house, our little apartment really, and then all of a sudden it's like the sky broke. All of a sudden, all this water started pouring from above, and what had happened is those water lines along those side walls had burst, and it was filling up above us. And we had coolers, we had pots, pans, you name it, bowls, everything we could think of, trying to catch all the water. It made a horrific mess. And I guess being a Bible college like that, we didn't have much anyway, but it was a mess. And I can just imagine some of the people having to deal with that in an entire home and all of that. So let's remember them. And it's going to be spring soon, so we can certainly see that coming. Okay, well, we start a new theme this week. I think a good theme, especially with all that's been going on, and even just in the last week with the severe winter weather. We're going to talk about hope this week, and it's always good to have hope. So we're going to look at the Bible, what it says about hope. There's so many passages, but today we're going to be in the book of Jeremiah, chapter 14. We'll give you a chance to find that. Jeremiah 14:8 is the actual verse, and I think we'll read 8. Maybe 8 and 9, I think. And then we'll get you in and out of here at a good time. So here's what it says. Oh, the hope of Israel. There you go. Oh, the hope of Israel, the Savior thereof in time of trouble. Why shouldest thou be as a stranger in the land, and as a wayfaring man that turneth aside to tarry for a night? Why shouldest thou be as a man astonished, as a mighty man that cannot save? Yet thou, O Lord, art in the midst of us, and we are called by thy name, leave us not. Now, what's significant, of course, about is not so much what's being said as who it's being said by, and the time that we're going through. This is Jeremiah. Jeremiah, the weeping prophet. And here we find Jeremiah is living basically right before the fall of his country in the official sense, Jerusalem. He'll live during that, and then, of course, he'll live beyond that time. So he's right there telling the folks, basically, God said, look, judgment is coming. And the people said, no, you're not only crazy, as we would say, but you're also very unpatriotic. It's almost like you're wanting the demise of our country, and that certainly wasn't the case. Jeremiah hated what was going to happen to his country, but they just couldn't believe it. And but it did happen, of course. And here we find that great phrase, "Oh, the hope of Israel," and of course it said there, "O Lord, art that." It says, "O Lord, art in the midst of us, and we are called by thy name, leave us not." That was certainly Jeremiah's wish, and I'm sure people have certainly wanted, I think in some cases, maybe we're all guilty of this, that the people there were kind of using the Lord as a means to say, man, we want the blessings, but we certainly want to do things our way. We want the protection of God, but if we've got some false idols here and there, and we do things our way, then we're fine with it. Just make sure we can have a good time and enjoy all the things that we enjoy, and make sure of that. Otherwise, we're good the way things are, spiritually speaking, which we're not good. But here it is. We're being reminded that this is a people that God was in the midst of them. This is a people that whose God was the Lord, and so all that to say, as an individual or as a person that's watching this, and even as a nation, the Lord is our hope. He is the hope. He was the hope of Israel. And if there's anything that's going to be the hope of America, let me just say this, and preachers have said this for a long time. You've heard these phrases kind of mentioned from the pulpits often. The hope is not in the White House, it's in the church house. Well, let me tell you something. There's people we can vote into office, and we can be pleased and we can be greatly disappointed, and I understand that. And certainly leadership and their agendas and the cabinets that they put together can certainly affect our country, and they do. But let me tell you something. If our hope is strictly in a person or a particular political party or a movement, anything like that, we have to get back to the idea and realize the hope for America, our country, is the Lord. And we've got to be on our face before God, and He is our hope. And when you believe that and you act accordingly, then God can do anything to make a country like our country, America, blessed and what it needs to be. He can put people in position that will help, facilitate that. But let me just say this: if you look at it the other way around and you're greatly disappointed in the way things are, and if we only had somebody, and you're not thinking about the Lord, and then maybe somehow the Lord, secondarily could bless us. No, our hope is still in the Lord, and that's the way it's always been. It's like salvation. The only hope that we have is in the Lord. He's the only one that can save. He's the only one that's made the provisions and all of that, giving us what we need. And so our hope is still in the Lord. Now, it sounds like a very broad and general statement, but when you practically though believe that, and you live that, you pray that way, and you work for the Lord, knowing that. Lord, I want you to bless our nation. I want to be a part of that. I want to be just a part of the blessing that would apply to a country because of what I'm trying to do, not only, for the Lord and for His work, but, for our country too. So I think you understand that. So we'll build on this idea of hope and to look at some powerful verses, but we hope you have a great day. And if the Lord is your Savior, then there's your hope, you see, and everything can be affected by that hope. So have a great day. And we're going to see you tomorrow. And you know what? Try to be a blessing to somebody today. Wouldn't that be great? Just be a blessing. Just think, Lord, give me a chance to be a blessing to somebody today. And somebody out there is hurting. You're probably going to run into, or they're going to need some encouragement. And you be that person to do that. Okay. So let's have a great day.